Salutations, crustaceans! I'm Lobster, and today we have ourselves quite the tone shootout between the Sire M5 and the MTD Kingston Super 5. Let's do this! This is the Kingston Super 5 from MTD, and next to it is the Sire M5. Now, this is an interesting comparison because the M5 does not compete with the Kingston Super 5 in any way, shape, or form. That being said, this M5 is a placeholder for an M7 Ash 5-string, which we do not have. The 5-string version of the M7 Ash comes in right around the same price as the Kingston Super 5 and offers many similar features, including the 3-way pickup toggles for series, parallel, and single coil per pickup, as well as a 3-band preamp. So today we are going to look at these two basses and do a little tone comparison. I love both of these basses, honestly. I gave them both 4 out of 5 claws for their excellent build quality, great range of tones, and just awesome playability. So this really isn't a which is better video, but more so just a showcase of the different tones to help you all decide which bass is right for you. But before we play these basses, I want to say that the MTD was provided to us by MTD as a review loaner. So this is going back to the MTD shop very shortly, and the Sire was purchased at an artist discount. So thank you, Sire, for that. Now, there are a lot of similarities between the Kingston Super 5 and the Sire M7. Including ash bodies, which the M5 also shares, but also one-piece maple necks. The Kingston has a one-piece maple neck and a maple fingerboard or a laurel fingerboard option, where the M7 has a one-piece maple neck and an ebony fingerboard as its only option. The M5 over here has a 5-piece maple and mahogany neck with an ebony fingerboard. Speaking of the necks, the Kingston here is a 35-inch scale bass, but the 4-string version is a 34-inch scale. Same goes for the Sire M5, though that is a 4-string, so it is 34-inch scale, as opposed to the 35-inch scale of the Kingston we have here today. Again, though, the Sire 5-string is also a 35-inch scale, so that would make things a bit more apples to apples, but again, this is what we have access to at the moment, so yay! I love playing these basses, though. This is so much fun. For hardware, I would say that the tuners on both of these instruments are relatively similar Godot-style tuners. MTD does offer hipshot upgrades for both the tuners and the bridge in-house. You can purchase these direct from MTD or have them install it on your bass if you purchase it for them or send it in to be modded. They also have a whole pickup and preamp upgrade set that we actually tested on another video. I'm going to have that linked below, and we also have a tone comparison between the stock MTD Super 5 and the modified one with all the bells and whistles. The bridges, on the other hand, for both of these basses are very different. The Sire is a meaty high-mass bridge that gives you the option to string through the body or string through the bridge. So you have flexibility there, but the much more simple unit on the Kingston gives you a quick release system, making swapping strings a breeze. In regards to string spacing, both 4-string models have 19mm spacing, and the 5-string of the MTD retains that 19mm, where the Sire has 18mm spacing on their 5 strings. The pickups on the MTD are 2 Music Man style pickups, and they have 2 large pull pieces per string per pickup. The Sires are much more complex humbuckers. You have 4 pulls per humbucker and 4 smaller pulls. It's almost like you have a double jazz bass pickup in the Sire, where the MTD has a traditional Music Man style pickup. And again, both basses have 2 3-way toggle switches, one for each pickup to allow you to select between series, parallel, and single coil. Now onto the preamps. The Sire really brings all the bells and whistles here, though I'm not the biggest fan of this preamp. I think it does its job very well in this particular application. You have a master volume, passive tone control, master blend, and a 3-band preamp with a mid-sweep, a mid-frequency control. And the MTD, on the other hand, only has a master volume, master blend, and a 3-band preamp with no frequency selection. The Sire also has a bypass, where the MTD does not. That being said, the upgraded MTD Super 5 does have all these options, as well as really nice Bartolini pickups. It's a Bartolini preamp as well in the modified MTD. but the stock preamp is a G&B preamp, and I think it does its job very well, even though it's much simpler than that of the Sire. Now for more in-depth videos on either of these basses, check out my full reviews that are also linked in the description down below. But for now, let's get to the playing. You all know what you need to do. Go ahead and pinch that like button so my hand will turn back to normal. Thanks. Oh, my Sire M5. This is essentially a stripped down version of the M7, featuring the same electronics and same hardware. You also have a Swamp Ash body that is also offered in the M7, but it forgoes the flame maple top and matching headstock veneer as well. I think there's a couple other concessions, including you lose out on the one-piece neck in favor of a 5-piece. But other than that, the M5 is just a great placeholder for the M7. I think this is going to be a great comparison. Yes, the MTD Kingston Super 5 is one of my favorite basses out of the Kingston series, and just one of my favorite 5-strings overall. You have the asymmetrical neck profile that makes this so comfortable to play, even with the 19mm spacing, and the notes just play themselves. I mean, you barely have to touch the thing to make this sing. I really like this bass. Now for this comparison, we are only going to be using the top 4 strings. We are not going to be touching the B string because the Sire we have is a 4-string, so I really can't compare the B strings between this and the M7. For this comparison, we will have our beat buddy in the background playing a drum beat, and I'm just going to play the same riff, going through all the different pickup combinations, and I'll do the same on the Sire as well. I'm not going to really fiddle with the preamps too much. If you want to see what the preamps do in much more detail, you can check out my full reviews, but we're actually just going to do a quick comparison with the different pickup modes on both of these basses to see what the different voicings sound like and how they compare. Let's get started. Next, we will do a quick slap comparison between both of these basses. We're not going to be using the Beat Buddy, just me and the bass. What we're going to do is play our slap riff with the neck pickup soloed in parallel, the bridge pickup soloed in parallel, both pickups together in parallel, and then both pickups in single coil. So 4 different tones that we're going to check out and slap for each of these basses. Let's get started. So here are my final thoughts on this tone shootout between our MTD Kingston Super 5, in its stock form, not the modded one, and the Sire M5, also 100% stock. Now, they are rocking different sets of strings, with the M5 rocking a set of Stay in Tune, Foundation, 45 to 105, and nickel-plated stainless steel strings, and the MTDs are rocking, I believe, their own in-house MTD strings, which I also like a lot. I think both of these basses sounded great, though their tonal palette is completely different in my opinion. I think that the Sire definitely nails the classics a bit better. You can get a much more precision-esque tone out of the neck pickup, and you can kind of get a more jazz bassy thing going with both pickups together. That being said, I think that the Kingston nails the Stingray thing and then takes the Stingray tone to a whole nother level. I love the sound of both of these pickups individually as well as soloed, and I just think that the MTD Super is just a spectacular instrument. It's really killer. You don't have as much control tonally as you do with the Sire with the passive tone control, which is kind of take it or leave it with the stock capacitor, and the mid sweep. And you also have a preamp bypass on the Sire, which is not available on the stock MTD. That being said, I think that whichever way you go, you are going to be getting yourself an awesome bass. Let me know which tones were your favorite in the comments down below, but that'll do it for this tone shootout. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord channel, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the MTD Kingston Super 5, as well as our Sire M5 in place of a Sire M7. And as always, until we groove again,